Hi, Luthern. It's great to see you today. So, New Roads is quite different to how many people would imagine school. Would you talk to us about how and what makes New Roads different?
I think it goes back to the foundation of the school and why it was founded. The founders looked around in 1994 and they said there still isn't a socioeconomically, racially, and culturally integrated school in Los Angeles that offers all children a high quality education rich in the arts. And it's more than 40 years after Brown versus the Board of Education, which required the integration of schools. And they said, if this great American experiment is going to work, then we need to create a school where children live and learn together and where it's built on the assumption of the inherent dignity and worth of each person. So the school, in some ways, sort of became a laboratory to redress the impact of segregation and inequality and also to tap into the educational benefits of having children from diverse backgrounds be together. I think that's created a program that is goes beyond the industrial model of education where one size fits all fits no one, and a school that's very human centered that responds to the individual socially, emotionally, intellectually, and gives kids an invitation to discover who they are and to understand their gifts and their challenges and to find their unique road. And that's all done, I think, in a climate and culture that's built on love, respect, compassion, and forgiveness.
Luthern, there's many stories of young people who've had incredible journeys with you at New Road, and we're aware of them at the Power of Us. But there's one who's reached iconic status. That's Amanda Gorman. So if you wouldn't mind, just for people that don't know her, tell us the story of Amanda Gorman.
Amanda is an exceptional young woman. She is a force of nature. And Amanda Gorman, for those of you who don't know, she spoke at the inauguration of Joe Biden, and she's now become a global icon. Amanda, what is so amazing about Amanda is not only her prodigious gift in writing and poetry, but that she sees her gift as a tool to be able to create a more just world and making sure that the American promise is extended to all people. And I think she embodies the core values of who we are as a school.
But then I read that she was more or less an elective mute when she first went to the school. So what did you do to kind of draw her out of that shell?
I think that from the very beginning, they saw, heard, and valued Amanda. And even with her challenges, I think they saw what she could become and they focused on leveraging her strength. I think they met her where she was, socially, emotionally, intellectually, and gave her increasing levels of challenge, which I think allowed Amanda the confidence to show up as she was and to grow in her confidence on secure attachment. We believe that students must have a secure attachment to their teachers and to the school, and that it is that relationship that allows for vulnerability and for children to be let out of themselves so that they can become their unique expression.
You've been really upfront and clear with people that the school is built upon diversity. Everything that you're doing is about developing diversity. It seems to me there's a growing connection now. People are seeing the connection between diverse groups of people and innovation. How does that manifest itself in New Roads?
I think that, I always say that at New Roads, we are a rainbow tribe, and the children find tribes within the tribe. And I think as they feel more confidence to show up as who they are, they, find their own interest in passion, and they're willing to take risk in all areas of academics as well as the arts as well as their extracurriculars. And because they fully show up, they're encountering each other and they're constantly taught to question themselves, to question others, to question the world. And I think what that leads to is an evolving and complex view of the world, a complex view of problem solving, because they realize that they always need to be humble, that we're only ever approaching understanding of anything. And so I think explore, experiment, and discover run through everything at New Roads.
But that diversity is also reflected in the people who work at New Roads. I think many schools, certainly in the UK, they would not claim to have a very diverse group of people working there. So, Luthern, what always struck me about New Roads students was their level of articulacy, their confidence. They present themselves incredibly well. So, on one level, it was no surprise to me that Amanda.
Luthern, there's going to be schools or even businesses that look at the New Roads model and think they can't do that. But what could people learn from your approach?
But I think what's missing is climate and culture that mediates the assessment, pedagogy, and curriculum. And I think really, if the extension of thinking about New Roads in terms of what it may have to offer to, industries beyond us, I really do think we're talking about human development, where the mind is not only the brain, but the mind extends to our connection to others and to the environment. Well-being has to be at the foundation of all that we do, and the liberation of unique potential.
We've seen that you invest 40% of the income to ensure that you've got children that attend from disadvantaged backgrounds, which is completely incredible. But what do you think is preventing other schools, organizations from doing something similar?
Well, I think that to forego so much of our tuition, is tough because I think it's about your priorities. And for us, we have foregone $120 million since the school was founded in 1995. And I think we have prioritized people and human beings over buildings. And I think that it really does require people to really rethink what your priorities are and what really matters.